Welcome to Maximising Efficiency with Dext. I'm joined by Customer Success Manager George Wells from the team at Dext. My name is Max Whiteley. I'm going to be talking to you a bit of a build on our last Maximising Efficiency video. Last time we talked about what happens if a client sends some paperwork into Dext, but you've already reconciled the transaction in your Xero QuickBooks account. This time what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the process before that effectively. So you're doing the bookkeeping, you're doing the VAT returns, you're doing the accounts, and you're reconciling that bank account. And there's some transactions on there that you've not seen the paperwork for and you don't want to manually code them across. And you need that paperwork from your clients for the completeness of your record. So how using Dext can you effectively and efficiently get that information from your clients? So we're going to share the screen and George is going to talk us through a couple of solutions.
So once we get into our Dext client view, what we can do is just jump to our client. So find that client for me, Max. Perfect. And then we're going to go to the cost workspace. Perfect. That's going to bring up all the cost items. Now it's really, really important here to remember the last video, we looked at missing paperwork and Max has said it already. It's really important to highlight the differences here between missing paperwork, which we saw in that advanced client view, missing paperwork being items already reconciled within the accounting software. Paperwork request here is looking at your unreconciled line items in your accounting software before you push them through to say that we might find some items in here that need paperwork adding still. So we look at both sides of it, and that's the difference. Missing paperwork, items already in the accounting software, and paperwork request is looking at items that are about to be reconciled. So if we go to the three little dots in the top right corner next to our table settings, Max, you're going to see a request paperwork report. If you click on that for me, that is now brought up all those unreconciled line items that need paperwork. So we're looking at all the bank transactions here, so you can request that paperwork that's needed before we reconcile the items. So we can select a few, send that to the client. We can export it via CSV or PDF, or send it directly via the mobile app. When we send that via the mobile app, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to switch to my screen on my phone. So bear with me if you get close up. But what that's going to do is then I'm then going to show you what that will look like for your client. And what you will see in the app now is there will be a notification in the top right corner where I click. And then we've got our communications page showing us messages that might be from the client, or as the client, messages that might be from us, the accountants. So what we can now see in our paperwork request is we can see the three items Max sent me earlier. So now these are all individualized, so I can click into each one as the client, and I'm going to submit the paperwork. I can take the picture of the receipt or document and then submit that item to my accountant, and then that's crossed that item off the list. So really handy, really quick and easy way to request that paperwork from the client without having to chase them with a phone call or try and email them. So I'm going to hand back over to you, Max, while I switch the screens over again.
Okay, so we're back in Dext now, and yeah, that was a great way to sort of, request paperwork directly from the platform here within a costing box. We can do it from here, request paperwork. We can also do it from our bank section here. If you go to transactions, we have all of our unreconciled transactions in there, and you can request paperwork directly from here as well. Very, very similar approach. We also have another feature which is really useful for requesting paperwork, and that is using our Dextension feature. If you don't know what Dextension is, then please give your account manager a ring and definitely get that downloaded. Or if you don't have the time to ring your account manager, then simply just go over to the Chrome store and download Dextension. But we have covered that on previous videos, so I won't go into too much detail. But effectively what it is a browser-based extension for Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge, and it enhances your browser. It enhances when you're in Xero and when you're in QuickBooks, and it also enhances your Dext Prepare as a whole as well. But two features that we're going to show you in here. First of all, within Xero, this looks like a Xero button, but in fact it is a Dextension button. It sits directly on each of your bank accounts, and you can go ahead in there without needing to be in Dext, as long as your Dextension is logged in the top right hand corner, and click request paperwork from here. You can select all of those unreconciled transactions, deselect the ones you don't want to ask about, such as bank interest, and then it pre-populates a little email for us on the right hand side. We can connect this to our Gmail account, our Outlook account, send it via the mobile app, which George just showed you there a second ago, or we can download this as a CSV or a PDF and send it manually using our own email process as well. So super useful to start requesting unreconciled transactions within your Xero in a matter of seconds. I know from when I was in practice that I would try and get these like convoluted reports, get the unreconciled reports. I was deleting certain lines to make it look nice. This does it straight away from the off. All of your unreconciled transactions, date, amount, description, and anything you've put in that discuss tab as well within there. Really simple, and it works exactly the same from within QuickBooks. Again, looks like a QuickBooks button. It is in fact a Dextension button and does exactly the same thing within there. So go ahead, use those paperwork request buttons, whether you're in Xero, whether you're in QuickBooks, or whether you're within Dext, within the bank section, or within the cost section within there as well. Hopefully that was useful. If you have any questions, then please do feel to reach out to me, George, comment on this video. We'll definitely be more than welcome to chat. But if not, we'll see you next time on Maximising Efficiency with Dext. Cheers, George.
Thanks, Max. See you later.